Hey, enthusiasts, what's happening? This is Salty Language, episode 633.
The sexiest podcast on the network. Hi,
Yep,
Brian.
yep. Hello, Tony.
Just FYI for all you out there, still can't upload to YouTube. 2 weeks in a row, baby.
Yeah, and it's nothing against our account because I haven't seen any emails saying, "Hey, you're not allowed to upload" or
Yeah,
anything
but you
like
guys
that.
have been naughty.
Yeah, like we were, once before.
Yeah, these things
So,
happen. We just decide to drop music and shit in your stuff. But now it's all the rage. People love music and videos.
no, it's funny.
Yeah, well, at least in shorts.
Yeah, yep, yep, yep. Although it is funny when you go through even on Instagram with like reels, how like you're allowed to, as long as you pick songs from that are okayed by them, basically. But it's funny how like if you watch the reels later in the day, like you'll see a decent amount of them are this song is no longer available. It's like, okay, what
Yeah,
happened?
but
Like
why?
why okay? Yeah, like did the rights expire today? I
Uh,
mean, it
I
was
mean, we got a notification maybe 2 weeks ago that Instagram just took down one of our videos,
okay.
and I was like, I don't know why. I'm assuming it was a copyright thing, and I'm not
Yeah.
sure what video it was. It was just like, oh, okay,
Yeah, it's weird. Like the meta stuff is really weird because they just take stuff down and don't tell you
yeah,
why.
it's very convenient.
Or they'll just be like, "This was a violation of our rules." That's all they tell you. It's like, well, which rules? So I don't do it
Our
again. I mean,
rules.
yeah, like, was it the one with the full frontal that we did, or I mean, because then I can understand it
Everyone
maybe.
loved Wayncast. I mean,
Yeah.
jeez.
Ooh. Oh, dude. Speaking of full
Oh, I was
frontal,
like Wayncast.
yeah. I mean, no, I was watching more of that Naked Attraction
Oh yeah.
show, and I finally in season 3, I think it is, finally was there an absolute just creep on the show, and I figured it was going to be like there's a dude on there that was a virgin, and I'm like, oh boy, I don't know about all this. And literally, like when they revealed the downstairs of all the ladies that were there, that was his first time seeing them in real life
What?
since like he slid out of his mom. Yeah,
That's
and I was like,
incredible, kinda.
yeah. So this dude was kind of like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, like a dog when you came home from work,
Be
basically.
funny if he just
But
starts shuddering because he's coming in his pants.
yeah,
Oh,
he might have,
oh!
it wasn't live, so maybe they, did a second
Hosed him
cut.
down.
Down, boy, down. He's just over there humping a
Exactly. Get
leg.
the garden hose.
No, he was actually not, not terrible at all. Other than he was just mesmerized. But and in my head, at first the first thing I was thinking on that one was like, I wonder if they told the women because not everybody's gonna maybe want to take someone's cherry here,
Mm.
So, but they did mention partway through that all the women were cool with dating a virgin. So like, okay, good. They at least warned them, like, hey, this guy might immediately start humping your leg.
Exactly.
Yeah. But no, it wasn't him that was the creep though. It was like they had this old guy on there, like this older man, and just he was one of those guys that he just is reminds me of the physical embodiment of an internet creep. In that, like like the guys who where like a girl will post a picture of her, like basically it'll be just like this close up of her tits, and you can see her eyes, and they'll always be like beautiful eyes, and it's like, stop it, everyone's looking at the tits, stop acting like you're looking at her
Yeah,
eyes.
they're trying to break the mold. Maybe she'll notice
Yeah,
me if I mention her eyeballs.
yeah, like, see, I'm a real nice guy, but
Your
this dude
36 eyelashes are so beautiful.
that's my exact kink.
Yes.
Please don't lose any or gain any.
Yes. It's really doing
um
it for me right now.
this dude gets down to like the two final women, which is really funny because part way through, he mentions they start off by saying that, his longtime marriage ended, so he's recently single. And I'm like, okay, whatever. About 5 minutes into this episode, I'm like, I got some real good. I bet I can get near why his marriage ended. Like, because creep.
Well, wait,
It's like,
hold on, Brian. Let me play devil's advocate here. Maybe his longtime marriage ended because it was like a dead bedroom situation. And
well,
he was
it
like,
could
"Oh,
be
thank God, I get to look at something."
because they did mention that, he found his I can't remember how they worded it, but basically he found his interest in shibari, apparently, which for anyone who's not aware is like a rope tying kind of thing. And there's an art form to it. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen this stuff, but there's some really like cool patterns and stuff. But it's literally you're tying someone up with like rope. And, of course they have to fully be into this because you're literally tying them up. So it's either that or it's either nice or it's
Oh my
kidnapping.
God, what if the guy was
So,
like the BTK killer?
I
Right.
know, right? But this guy is just like there was something about one of the women, and he was like, I like a woman that is like a certain way. He's like, because it's better for shibari. And the woman's like, the what? And he explains it to her. So then they explain it on the show a little bit. And I was like, okay, whatever. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being into, I'm not here to yuck anyone's yum, whatever.
That's a
So
perfect color of skin I love to put a soldering iron into.
that is kind of the vibe I got.
Like, what?
I wasn't getting like, this guy is what it was he's an old guy who is way too free and open with his sensuality, basically. And it comes across really creepy. And I think he was kind of off-putting to a couple of the women on the show. But there was one, it made me laugh. He dismissed this one woman for he said he thought she was too uh like plain, basically. And when it shows her in the locker room, getting dressed, basically, and she goes, yeah, she's like, I'm totally into getting tied up, I'm super kinky, I've got my clit pierced, like all this. She's like, I would have been perfect for this guy, basically. And what it came down to is, I'm like, yeah, the reason he dismissed you is it came down to two of the women were very voluptuous. And by that I mean like traditional curvy kind, and she was a little beyond voluptuous, we'll say. Right? Like, not fat, but just bigger than the other two women. And it was like, I bet that's probably the real reason he kicked you off. So it gets to the final two. He ends up picking one that is a life, like an art model, that goes in models totally nude for art. And in my head, I'm going to assume, like when he finds this out, I'm like, I'm sure he's gonna just pop a boner right there on the stage, like, oh, you're into sensual arts too,
I too celebrate the arts.
Yeah. And so he ends up picking her, and don't get me wrong, I mean, this woman was, she was like 42 or something like that, and gorgeous and Italian and whatever. So I was like, okay, I can get behind this answer.
Is Italian shibari just you tie them up with like noodles and stuff?
Yes, obviously.
It's me, Shibario.
Oh shit. So anyway, so he gets to her. They go on their date, and the whole time he's just like wanting to touch her hand. He's wanting to blah blah blah, and he's one of those guys that he just keeps talking about how sexy she is.
Oh God.
And I'm like, bruh, back off. Like, and you can tell from her vibe, she's more take it slow, kind of traditional, which is, fine and all, but he's very much like, and it's like, and you could just see her literally like shrinking into herself on the date. And then it shows her like, where during the date where she's like off talking to the camera, and she's like, he's just like too much. Like, I don't think we're a good fit. And So it shows them back together, a few weeks later, and she's basically like, you're too intimate, basically, meaning he just wants to touch. And he's basically like, I'm a very tactile person. I like to touch the other person and all this stuff. Then it comes out that he contacted the woman I told you that he kicked off for being plain. They ended up like hitting it off in their in the text messages, and he's gone on a couple dates with her. And the way he referred to the woman is he goes, I don't know her name, Nikki or something like that. He's like, you remember Nikki that I didn't pick? And he's like, the one with the clit piercing. And I'm like, yeah, I bet that's all. He's probably got her in his phone as Nikki with the clit
or
piercing,
just clit piercing.
Clit piercing. Yeah. And I was like, God, dude. I was like, can you not be a creep for 2 fucking minutes? He reminds you of the guy that's on Twitter that will be more than happy to tell you how big his dong is, and 2 is probably pushing that he's a dom.
Well, of course.
And just creeping everybody out with all his gross replies.
Yeah, you ever jack off a senior citizen in the back of an Outbacks?
I mean, who hasn't? But,
Well, this is supposed to be a romantic date.
That's why you go to Outback.
Clearly. I didn't buy a blooming onion for nothing.
Yeah.
Expecting a handy in this booth.
For sure. That's what, get your hand greasy on that onion.
Yeah, exactly. It is the greasiest appetizer.
Oh, man. I just love, like I told you, I love like some of the people and stuff. Like one dude cut, no pun intended, cut a dude who had been circumcised because he's like, it's just going to take more spit. That was his reason.
Wow.
Oh, fuck. It's great. It's really not. It's a terrible show, especially when you get into like, you're literally standing there totally nude, and these people are just breaking you down, So sometimes it's like whatever. Like there's some that are like super nice about everything, and then there's some that are just real assholes. Kind of a, because of the reason that they cut people.
Your left titty is weird. You're out.
Yeah.
Oh wait, they're all British, aren't they?
No, actually.
Oh, okay.
That's I think one of the inherent flaws is that there are a decent amount of people that end up on that show that are a good distance from each other.
Oh.
Like they don't go, oh, this person's from Toledo, so let's get everyone within no more than a 30-mile radius or something. They get people that are literally a large gap of distance because they just put out a wide net for anyone who wants to come on.
I mean,
the show.
that's fair. It's like, hey, you want to be on stage naked for a half hour? Well, actually, way longer than that because of TV editing.
I read about the other day. I looked up, just like secrets of whatever kind of thing, just because I was curious about. Because there were a couple people on there, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I saw them on another episode.
I recognize those balls.
Yeah, right. I mean, there was one guy who came back as a contestant, like he was one of the ones in the pods, and then he got to be the person picking later. But there were a couple times where I'm like, I'm pretty sure this guy was on another episode, or this woman was on another episode. So I'm looking up to see if they kind of reused people. And then you learn that like a lot of times, like the people in the pods are nude for like 12 hours.
Oh my God.
Because of, like you said, they get nude, get in the pods, and then they do all, because TV's got to have like 9 million different angles. Plus for that show, they're doing close-ups of everything basically. The term gooch got used on one of the episodes the other day. That brought a tear to my eye. Because a guy had a gooch piercing. So, which just sounds terrible. I can't imagine the awful bacteria that gets on that thing. Between the balls and the asshole, literally.
Yeah, it sounds like a terrible time.
Right? But yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine 12 hours. What if you got to take like a freaking nasty like butternut squash shit or something,
I hope. I assume they have breaks occasionally.
Did they have like assistants come and like, spread them? We got to make sure everything's good back here.
Right? Like they hose you out basically.
Yeah, I'm just saying. That's weird.
but they said that because the other thing I mentioned before, because I was like, I wonder if like there's got to be a time, at least some point, where someone, nature just gets a hold of you as a guy sometimes, and you can't help what happens.
Oh yeah, right.
I mean, once you're past puberty, it's much easier to kind of think about baseball and whatnot. But still, sometimes, sometimes nature just goes, hey, you're staring at 6 naked women.
Exactly.
you know,
You like tits? I like tits. That's your dick talking.
right? So
Let's do this.
they did say there was at least one time. The woman who's the host actually said there was at least one time where they had to basically take a guy off the stage and spray him, hose him down, and then bring him back because he was getting a little too excited.
Just a rager.
Sorry.
Well, but I mean, what if you want to show the lady who's trying to pick a date like what she's going to deal with in battle mode?
Yeah.
You know, like this is what you're going to fight down the ring later.
Yeah.
You know, tail to tape. That's all that is.
I just, I love to, like, the host of the show, like, so many times, like, it's so much funnier, like when the guy, a woman's or someone's picking from guys, she's always like, what do you think of the willies? And, whatever. But, and most of the women are kind of like, yeah, it's fine, whatever, And then the guys, like, when she's like, what do you think of all these vaginas? And she wants them to go into like detail about it almost, and like one guy was like, he's like, I like it kind of nice and tidy. I don't like it when it looks like a pack of ham, and she's like, a pack of ham.
It's like, a pack of ham.
But it's funny, a lot of the guys are like, I don't give a fuck, it's a vagina.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I just can't wait to hopefully get in there.
Yeah, at least I was like, lady, you don't understand what it's like, what it is to be a guy. Like we, most of us don't give a fuck what's going on downstairs. Like as long as we're granted access, we're good.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
I mean, as long as it's nothing crazy,
I mean, even then, there's just a story behind it. Then
there is. Yeah.
Like, there was this time.
Yeah. It was like a Venus flytrap.
Yeah, exactly.
It was fantastic. Anyway.
Good times.
Yeah. So, so it cracks me up watching that show because the reasons people eliminate and all this. Plus, God, watching some of these people on these dates, my God, they're terrible. Like, just not good at. I mean, I'm not saying I'd be any better. I'd be awkward as fuck. But, I don't, maybe not. Because, I mean, once you're done seeing them naked, I mean, I feel like that would drop a big level of awkwardness.
Yeah, the icebreaker is over.
Yeah, it's like we've seen each other naked and here we are still on a date.
Yeah.
Like, so it's, I feel like that would, maybe be okay.
I mean, what are you supposed to do? Like over the soup course? You're like, remember that time we were both naked? That was crazy.
Yeah. So I just, there was a girl that went on a date with a guy and she's like, I can't wait to see his style. And she's like, I have a real big thing for what a guy wears, like shoes. And this dude shows up in these like bright red Adidas. And I'm like, nice, like these are dope shoes. And she's like, what are you wearing? And he's like, oh, they're, whatever. And they're new. And then they show her off and, talking by herself. And she's like, they were disgusting.
Absolutely disgusting.
I was like, lady, they were just trainers. They weren't anything like, they were new and clean. I mean, at least they weren't like filthy 5-year-old shoes.
Maybe she's in that. Maybe she wanted a filthy 5-year-old shoe, like stepped on her or something.
Yeah. I was like, it's not like he wore like sandals and had gross feet.
True. That'd be me.
Yeah. Well, she would have already seen Death Toe, though.
That's true.
Because you're not allowed, when they come out nude, I mean, unless you're wearing like glasses, you're nude. Like no socks even.
I would definitely need glasses so I could see what the competition was and all that.
Right. So,
what I want, I almost just died. What I want to know is if there's been any lasting relationships from this show.
They say that there has been. They named 2 people that were on there. I don't, once you watch enough episodes, you don't really remember the names of these people.
Yeah, that's fair.
They showed me like their balls, No. Show me the balls in the clam, then maybe I'd be, oh yeah, right, I remember
Like,
that.
yeah, it's the one that had that weird hook in it. Yeah, that's right.
So but they did say that there's been a few that lasted, and like there's been quite a few where they were just like, yeah, it's the distance, and I'm like, yeah, that doesn't seem real smart to not try to find people that are at least remotely close or willing to travel.
Yeah, for sure, right?
Although in fairness, if you didn't like somebody and there was a good bit of distance, that's a real easy, nice, way around
Like,
it.
I'm so crazy, I can't hop on a train and visit you. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, what are you doing? And
Yeah.
they're just like, have a PlayStation controller in your hand. I'm so working so hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm online too. I see her playing Call of Duty. No, that's not.
I'm in the lobby with you,
Oh,
actually.
shit.
Remember when you told me
Prank
your
caller,
username?
prank caller.
Yeah. Remember when you told me to add you on PlayStation? Shit.
Shit.
Also, you're broadcasting live on Twitch. I'm watching you.
Oh, shit.
That's my twin brother.
Yeah.
He's using my account.
That's crazy.
Wouldn't be me. I'm totally at work. Take that, noob. What'd you say? Nothing.
I said I liked your nudes.
Yeah. Yes. Nudes.
Nudes.
Yes.
I watched a lot of movies over the weekend, Brian.
Did you?
Yes. We had like movie marathon. Well, Leah was hanging out with us, and we watched a lot of movies. Watched Blade,
Okay.
which holds up until you get to the CGI stuff.
Yeah.
The CGI is rough in that movie.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But all in all, the movie holds up pretty well. Not mad at it.
Yeah, good.
Can't go wrong, Blade. But then I also watched Blades.
Okay.
Blades is terrible.
Blades is not in the same franchise, correct?
Oh God, no.
Okay, I was like, I don't remember them. Yeah, because it was Blade 2, and then
Blade Trinity.
Yeah, Trinity. That was the third one. I couldn't remember what that one was.
Blades is a 1989 film from Trauma.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all you had to say.
And it's basically like I lost my there it is. It's basically a complete ripoff of Jaws.
Okay.
Right? But instead of
All right.
Connecticut beaches, it's a New Jersey golf course.
Naturally.
And instead of a shark, it's a lawnmower. Oh, and it's fucking terrible.
Wow, a lawnmower, huh?
Yes. But it was fun to watch. And we didn't even put it together that it was a Jaws parody. Because I just read the synopsis. It was just like, a New Jersey golf course is terrorized by a rogue lawnmower. I'm like, well, we got to watch this.
Oh my God.
But there's a scene where they have a lawnmower hung up and they cut open the grass bag. And that's when it all clicked. We're all like, oh God, this is a Jaws knockoff.
Wow.
And if you watch it and you think Jaws, there's a lot of parallels.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Wow. There's nobody in this movie. Like, I was just looking at the cast. There's no one I think I've ever heard of in this movie.
It's a complete cast of no ones is correct.
Wow.
But
which makes sense. It was a trauma film. So.
But it was entertaining in its own special way. Right? So we got that one out of the way.
All right.
And then we watched Critters.
Okay. I remember
which I don't think I've ever watched that movie.
Oh, really? That's like a classic shitty horror movie from the 80s, I believe.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Like I thought I had watched it. And then we started watching it.
I was going to say, in all those times where you and I would just bring a sack of shitty horror movies, I'm surprised we never, I probably never grabbed it because I just assumed you'd already seen it.
Bro, this movie was hilarious.
Yeah.
What we did is everybody picked a movie. Blades was earlier in the day. That was like a lunchtime movie. For the movie marathon, Michelle, Leah, and I all picked movies. This is Leah's pick, was Critters.
Okay.
And very entertaining movie. Very goofy and campy, for sure. Billy Zane, too. Young Billy Zane's in it.
Right. Yep.
But yeah, it was, I mean, there's, like, I don't know if Critters been around since 86, so I'm going to give you a spoiler.
Yeah, I'm good with it. I've seen it. It's been a long time.
There's this moment that Lee and I think we almost died laughing when it happened. It's towards the end of the movie. The critters are in their spaceship. They're starting to fly away, and one of the guys throws like a Molotov cocktail into the back of it before the door closes.
Yeah,
and like the spaceship takes off and is flying, and you're like, oh, it's going to fly into the sky and just explode, right?
Right.
Well, it flies, and then it stops, and then it just blows up the family home. And then it cuts to the spaceship, and the critters are like, and then it explodes. I was just like, these assholes blew up their house as they were trying to make their getaway. And laughed about it.
Funny. Like not grabbed the Molotov cocktail and threw it back at them and then went tee-hee and got away.
No. Let's take a quick moment to blast that house. Because fuck them humans.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was kind of outrageous, to say the least.
It actually reminds me of a movie that I'm shocked hasn't been remade.
What's that?
Critters.
Oh, I thought it was another movie.
No, I'm just surprised that they haven't made like a new version of Critters. I know there's sequels, or a sequel at least, I think. But I'm just surprised they haven't gone, hey, we need a 2000s version of Critters.
I agree. And the movie is so goofy because, it has these alien bounty hunters that come down, and they're just menaces too. They're shooting up bowling alleys and churches and...
It was like Cad Bane, Boba Fett. I know. I've seen it.
Yeah. All right, so we moved on from Critters, and we watched Idle Hands. How long has it been since you watched Idle Hands, Brian?
Oh God, who's in that? I know that movie. That's with Scott Evil, right? I can't think of his real name.
Seth Green.
Seth Green.
Scott Evil. Yeah, it's got him. It's got Jessica Alba.
Okay. Yeah, it's coming back to me now.
It's got...
I'll tell you the last time I watched it was when it came out on video.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because I took it home and watched it. That's the last time.
Devin, I can't see his name. Wow, whoever put up this IMDb post, they just must like Jessica Alba because she's the only person in it.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, Seth Green hasn't really done much otherwise.
No, he's been a waste. Wait, what?
Meanwhile, season 19.
This is the Idle Hands alternate ending, 10-minute thing. Okay, well, whatever.
Oh.
That's annoying. Oh, yeah, so we watched that, which I haven't seen that since the video store, too.
Yeah.
And that was fun to watch. Leah was definitely trying to figure the movie out, and then Leah goes, wait, is his hand possessed? Like, yup. They're like, oh my God. Winner. Yep. So we did that. And then, I know so many movies. We watched Totally Killer. Which is terrific.
I haven't watched it yet. I added it to my queue the other night.
Highly recommend that movie. Yeah, that's I mean, they sell it in it's a slasher film meets Back to the Future. And it's funny seeing all the 80s stuff, and like there's a dodgeball scene, and the girl from our time was like, what is going on? Like, couldn't wrap her head around just the violence and the teacher's not giving a shit. And I looked at Leah, I'm like, this is exactly what it was. With the hard rubber balls and all that, Yeah, so that was cool. That was a fun movie. And then, it wasn't part of our movie marathon, but later in the weekend, I watched another movie called Dave Built a Maze.
Okay.
And
This I think I've heard of.
it was on. I think it was on Amazon. I think maybe. But it's about a guy, like his girlfriend goes away for the weekend. It's a very small, like indie movie, right?
Right.
I'm trying to pull it up on IMDb here. Dave. Oh, okay. Dave made a maze, not built a maze.
That's
My
not,
bad.
okay.
My bad. But his girlfriend comes back from whatever she goes, and there's like a big cardboard fort in the middle of her apartment. And she's like, "Can you come out?" And he's like, "No, I'm lost." And so, like, all these guys' friends come over, and they go into the maze, and it's gigantic on the inside.
So it's a TARDIS, basically,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, it was a fascinating movie.
Interesting. That guy looks familiar. Why does
It's
that guy look familiar? Well, a few of them actually look familiar. Like Nick Thune has been in.
Yeah, Nick Thune, that's the guy.
Yeah, James Urbaniak is the one I was referring to, though. It's like I know him from some TV show, and I can't think of what it is.
Yeah, I highly
also Venture Brothers, but
highly recommend watching Dave Made a Maze, because every scene was just the stuff they had to build. It's just a crazy movie, and it's only like 80 minutes long, so it's well worth it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, definitely need to watch that.
Sorry, I'm just trying. It's just bugging me now. What I would like is I know him from Venture Brothers, but that's not what it is. There was some TV show where he played like a boyfriend or something like that.
The Boyfriend.
Yeah, I don't remember what it is now.
I don't know either. I don't know, man.
Maybe I'm just crazy.
I had to help my parents put away their patio furniture over the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm about ready to just tell them in spring, like, why do we do this? Because they pull it out, and then they never, like, throw any, like, cookouts or anything. It never gets used, and then we put it all away.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, that's the weird part. It's like, if it never gets used, like, it, and really, if you're not going to use it, like, you could just keep it put away, and then if you do throw a party, you could pull it all out.
Yeah, it's just like, it's a bi-yearly tradition.
Especially with them. Yeah, I was going to say, especially with them, like, sharing time where they live.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really understand. It's not that it's like, when we first started doing it, it was a lot more work. Because they had, they have since bought some furniture you can keep out year-round without it getting destroyed. So we used to have, it took a long time. We had to do so much more shit. And now it's like, takes maybe an hour. Or less. It took us less to put everything away because we had more people.
Right.
But why are we doing it?
For busy work.
Like every summer, I tell them, like, hey, you guys going to do cook? Oh, yeah. Nah.
Yeah.
They don't.
Right.
I just don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I don't either, because at some point I'd either just be like, let's just get furniture we can leave out year round, or why, like you said, why are we doing this? Like, let's just not do this. It's not like here where we got a couple of chairs and a table that actually this summer we didn't even put it out, but last year it was out. But then, when the weather starts changing, you got to bring it in because it's not built for...
Yeah, not built for the weather.
Not built for winter, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just like, I don't get it. Like, if they, like, once upon a time, they used to do, like, summer get-togethers and up at their house, and, okay, totally, but they haven't done anything like that in years. So it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, that's why I said at this point it's like, just pull it out if you're going to have a gathering.
Even like I'll think, hey, let's get together for dinner. Oh, okay. I'm like, you guys want to like have a cookout at your place? Nah, how about we just meet at like the VI or say, oh, okay, I guess.
Yeah,
it's the same problem I have with Christmas with my parents. When they're just like, here's a card. I want stuff. I don't want a card. Same idea. It's like, I want to hang out with you guys like at your home. I don't want to go somewhere. You know?
Right. Yeah. Meanwhile, they're in the we just go do things phase. We're not a people over phase.
That's 100% true. Like, we don't give a shit what you think, Tony. I'm like, yeah, I know. I've known that since I was a little boy.
Yeah. You say something?
Yeah, exactly, right?
I wasn't paying attention.
Just weird.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I went to the dentist today because I had to have the old cleaning done.
Cleaner.
Man, it's so nice walking out of there, because all the shit's gone off your teeth, basically.
You feel like $1 million.
Yeah, and it's like, man, I love this feeling. It's like, it sucks because, like when you go to eat, you're almost like, I don't want to ruin this. Like, I kind of want to leave that glossy feeling on my teeth and all that. But yeah, it was weird because I haven't been to my doctor's office in a while. And for anyone who doesn't know, my dentist is upstairs where my doctor's office is, and my mental health provider is also in the same building, which is very
one-stop shopping, baby.
It's very nice. If I needed an OBGYN, also in the same building.
You could probably make an appointment.
Yeah, I should. I haven't had a pap.
Here, come here, check this out.
Speaking of, there's an episode of Letterkenny I watched the other night where it shows like the guys, there's a new doctor in town, and the doctor's like telling all the guys like, hey, you're getting old enough, you should probably get the old finger in the butt, and that, showing how uncomfortable they are. And dude, when they tell oh shit, I can't think of her name. The woman from the Res. Was it Tanis? When they tell her, she's basically like, fuck you. Let me describe to you what a pap smear is. And they have Wayne Derry laid down and basically simulate what a pap smear is for the guy.
That's funny.
It's fantastic. Because it's the God's honest truth. Like, no, I haven't had the prostate exam yet, but it's compared to what women have to go through, it is nothing. It sounds so horrible what they have to go through, Anyway, so I don't even remember where I was going with all this. Anyway, so I'm at my doctor's office, and I walk in, getting ready to put the mask on because they've continued the mask regulation for quite a while there. And then I'm like, sign's down. And I walk in and I'm like, none of the employees are wearing a mask. Like, they must have gotten rid of the requirement.
Times have changed.
And I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm real back and forth on the whole mask thing. Like, I'm not great about wearing it. I should be, probably, because it isn't like COVID went away.
Right.
It's still very much out there.
It's on about doing its thing.
Yeah. And whatever. So, and I'm not looking to get into that bullshit, but I'm looking around and there's people in this waiting room, and I'm like, yeah, for that reason right there, for getting COVID.
Oh yeah.
It's cold and flu season. I would really prefer to not have to sit in a waiting room where people, thank goodness for me, I was heading upstairs. So I was just like deuces and just, head upstairs. And I get in there and there's like one woman in there and she was, not coughing and hacking because she was there for dental work, not, I'm here because I have a cold flu/COVID or whatever it is.
I'm here because I'm patient 0.2.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm so glad I'm going upstairs. But got that done today. They looked. I thought a couple weeks ago that I might have lost part of a filling, and I did. So, and I got to go for a filling tomorrow. So I was like, hey, can you do them both? Because I know you guys don't normally do that, but can you please do this for the love of God so I don't have to schedule again and wait 3 months, And the guy, the dentist looks and he goes, yeah, I'm pretty sure we can get that done. So they're both on the same side of the mouth also. Unfortunately, one's upper and one's lower, so it's going to mean very numb face tomorrow.
We should have podcast tomorrow.
Yeah. But it's like, me, I've said it before, like, I don't give a shit. Once they're in there, just get the work done.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm here, let's go kind of thing. So I was like, I'm so hoping that they're going to be able to get both of those done. So that's it. So I should be completely ready to go, except for 6 months from now, it's time for a cleaning and X-rays again. I'm so freaking tired of having to keep scheduling appointments, either to get them rescheduled or, like I said, I schedule it and they're like, well, we're scheduling about 2 months out now. And it's like, come on.
Yeah, but how about next week?
How about you just let me throat punch a couple of people and I get their spots?
Yes, exactly.
How about, because I've seen some of the people in there and I like my chances,
You just slide them $1. I wonder what George Washington has to say about that.
Yeah. And before they answer, I just punch them in the neck.
Ha!
Take the $1 back. Oh man, I'm in the store today and this guy's chatting with the cashier, because I was at Food Town and it's a smaller store, so there's a lot of community. People go in there all the time, so they know everybody, right? So there's a lot of chattiness in there. But again, I'm like, I don't care, because it's still way less stress than going into Kroger.
That's fair.
So I'm in line. This guy just keeps chatting. And the cashier is like, well, you better, go on and get, basically, because otherwise these two ladies behind you, which, I was behind them. She's like, these two ladies behind you are probably going to kick your ass. And he looks and he goes, it wouldn't take two. He's like, I don't think I could take the first one.
Wow.
And I'll tell you, after looking at him and looking at them, I think he's right. I think that first lady would have tore him up.
That's hilarious.
She was super friendly, but I mean, if you had to, if I had to put money on one of them, I'm not picking him.
Right.
So
just trying to get some of that underdog money.
Yeah. I just think it's a dumb bet, even with the underdog money.
That's fair.
I got to find a prop or something like that. Like, who throws, like which hand, they throw or something like that. That's
which eye of his will get blackened.
Right. Over, under, how many punches he takes,
for sure.
That kind of thing. Yeah. That's stuff that keeps it interesting.
Can I have a quick old man rant for a second here?
Yes.
Okay. Brian.
It's about how you can't beat up two women in a line at a grocery store.
Yes. Actually, I can, but I catch him by surprise.
You would have to, the second woman, because she was a beast.
Oh.
Like, I feel like she would tear us both. She could probably take us both on and kill us. Like, she just looked like that kind of
handicap
person.
match. It's on.
Yeah.
So no, I'm gonna flash back to when we were growing up, right? Back in the days of having like 4 or 5 stations.
Yeah.
Eventually
TV,
going to cable, and you had to sit there and you had to watch your goddamn commercials, because that's what you did.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm on Reddit over the weekend, and someone's posting. I was actually perusing the YouTube subreddit, kind of seeing if I could see any upload issues people might have been having,
Right.
And like one of the top posts was, and I quote, "These 30-second unskippable ads on YouTube are just unbearable." And I can't even wrap my head around that. Because it's like anything you want to watch, you can find now.
Yeah.
These 30-second ads are unbearable.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I've heard people bitch about, like, how they've switched from, like, on their Disney Plus or Hulu, back to the ones with commercials, and talking about how insufferable they are. And I'm like, have you watched TV, like air TV in your life, or even cable TV? It's like, have you watched TV? Like,
I will.
Because you have to just sit through that shit. We didn't have any way of, like, we didn't even have the phones to distract us during commercials.
Yeah, that was the time you're like I'm gonna go take a leak. I'm gonna go get a drink.
Yeah, exactly. That was it, man. Because otherwise, it's like, well, you just sit here for the next 5 minutes.
You know how many times I almost died because I'd be like, it'd be commercial. I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna go get like a pop, and I'd be upstairs, and then like my dad or my sister yells, "It's on!" and I'm like flying down the stairs so I don't miss anything.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Exactly. That was because there wasn't a second watch. There was no, I'll just start streaming it again, or I'll pause it, or unless we're watching like a videotape or something in those days or whatever. But that was it, man. It's like I've said with our phones, you know, you and I are from the era where we know what the fucking internet was like when you had to wait like 5 minutes for a page to load.
Sure.
And now if a page doesn't load within 2 seconds on your phone, you're ready to fire it at the wall. It's like it's the end of the world.
Although I will defend Hulu and the people that have the ads on their streaming service, because I have streaming services with ads because it's cheaper.
Oh, you know? Yeah, way cheaper.
It's way cheaper.
Yeah.
And I will defend it in one aspect. I don't mind the ads, but if you watch a bunch of like, if you set like binge something on Hulu, it'll be the same fucking ad over and 100%. Over, and that will get to me.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you on
mix
that.
Mix it up a little.
Yeah. You think they could have like 6 ads and then mix it up, but there's like 2, and that's all you'll see basically. Yeah. It's a good time.
But still, for the amount of content you're getting, I can sit through a minute ad and be fine. Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I read that.
The only things that bug me on like the YouTube ads is if you're watching a short or you're watching something that is less than a minute and there's a longer than, you know, like the ad is longer than the actual content. It's like, come on.
I mean, I guess I really don't watch YouTube shorts, so maybe
I don't really either, but I have plenty of times. I've done it enough to where I'm like, come on, you know, like the ad should not be longer than the content.
Yeah.
You know,
like I mean, like, you know, the way TikTok does it is they'll just have sponsored TikToks. And you just fly through them. It's not like an ad you have to sit and watch, you know, but I don't know, man. That cracked me up when I saw it. I was just like, oh, children, all I could think was it Desmond or whatever from basketball, you know, the attention spans could be measured in nanoseconds.
Yep.
That's exactly what it was felt.
It was ahead of its time, man.
Oh my God, was it ever?
It didn't even realize how attention spans were going to shrink and shrink and shrink. And I mean, you know, our phones have done a lot of that to us too. Like I said, if nothing else, we don't sit through anything anymore. Like, you know, what's the first, you know, you go like today, I go to the dentist's office. I'm sitting in the waiting room. What do? Pull my phone out, start playing a game on my phone.
Absolutely.
You know, years ago, you had to look through shitty magazines or sit there with your thumb up your ass, basically, because, you know, or maybe if you're lucky, they'd have one of those like TVs on with like paid content from some drug provider or something.
Right.
So you'd get to learn all about like, you know, gonorrhea or whatever while you sat there.
I honestly forgot about the struggle of having to like dig through the magazine pile and hope to find something interesting.
Yeah, and 9 times out of 10, like my doctor's office always had Sports Illustrated, so I was good there. But I remember the one dentist I went to when I was younger, dude, they never had any magazines that weren't like
People and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'd end up looking at People because it was either that or like, you know, women's magazines, and I'm like, I for sure don't want to watch or read these because there's nothing in here tailored to me, you know.
You weren't down to read Pap Smear Quarterly?
No, well, I mean, only for the pictures, but but yeah, it's like People has never been a magazine in my life that I'm like, ooh, I want to look through this. I have.
It's horrible,
but it's never been a magazine I've been interested in, you know. So I said if I could find Sports Illustrated, I was like, cool, or some sports magazine. Like hell, I remember at one of them, I even looked through like a camping magazine.
Oh yeah, I've done that. Like oh fuck yeah, Field and Stream.
Yeah, you know how much I love outdoors and camping. You know.
Well, I always thought a good score was National Geographic. That was always cool. Yeah, it was cool when doctors always said that.
Yeah. Like one of my doctors, I remember Motor Trend was the best option. I'm like, well, at least I can look at the cars. I don't give a shit at all about cars. But it was like, well, I can at least look at some of these cool cars that are, you know, hella expensive and whatnot in here. But it's like I'm reading anything in here probably.
Yeah.
But I don't need to. It's like just passes the time. Like I said, now I can basically read or consume whatever I want while I'm sitting in the office.
Absolutely.
You know, so naturally, you know, Pornhub.
Yeah, exactly. Hardcore pornography.
Volume all the way up.
Yeah, those are some struggles back then, man. 30-second ads are unbearable. Get out of here.
Right. The worst thing now is like when you go into an office, if I don't know if you've been in an office in a hospital or something like that where you can't get any sort of a signal on your phone.
Yeah. Well, I have certain games that I don't need a signal to play.
Yeah, I do now. I didn't at one
in
time.
case
and
of emergency games.
That when I went to my urologist, his office was like that. It was a fucking dead zone. Like you can get shit in there. And, first couple times I'm in there, luckily most of the time I didn't really have to wait because when I was getting those shots, I just would show up and they'd basically be like, "Hey, come on back," But some of the times when I'd have to wait for the doctor, and I'm like, "Oh my god, but after I think about like my third visit there, they got I don't know what streaming TV service, and they would just have TV shows on. And a lot of times they'd have like Home Improvement or some dumb old sitcom
like, oh,
on.
thank God.
Yeah, Food Network or something like that. I'm like, awesome. I can just sit here and watch this. Because, I mean, they had magazines, but, up until COVID. And then obviously no magazines. But,
yeah, I never thought about that. Magazines in a doctor's office, those got to be just gross.
Oh, they got to think about it. Like, we worked in video stores, and I still, thinking back on it, I saw a woman post a thing on Twitter last night that she's like, I hate the fact that COVID has made my children into germaphobes.
That's
and I was like, it's true though, because things that we never gave a shit about, like you said, like magazines in a lobby, those gotta be just filthy.
Yeah.
Because they probably never, I mean, you can't wipe every page of a magazine.
Better off just throwing it away.
Now, my urologist's office, at one point, they got almost like, I don't know, folders to put the magazines in, and they would wipe the covers off. And I'm like, well, that's helpful, I guess, but people are still picking their nose and then put through this magazine. But
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I was like, yeah, it is interesting how many things like that we just didn't give a shit about before. And now you look at some stuff a little differently as far as the germ content of it. I mean, most people still don't give a shit, Well, you know how it is. We're from the generation of, we touch those things all the time and we turned out fine.
Yeah, exactly.
We're still of that mentality. But the younger generations now are not going to be that way because they're going to have been brought up in a situation to where they had to care a little more about, contact and stuff because of this awful virus. Whereas we were just like, like we weren't even like of the generation where like our parents didn't carry hand sanitizer.
Brian, I can sum up our generation in 3 words.
Hot hose water.
5. Hot
hose water.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. That's another 3 words. But 5-second rule.
Oh, for sure, dude.
Like, oh, that shit hit the floor.
Yeah.
5-second rule. It's still good.
Yeah, it really was. It was just, yeah. So, yeah, it's kind of funny looking back at some of this stuff now. Just even I love the fact, like I've called our age group like a bridge generation for a long time because we were around before the internet was like a real thing. Well, like mainstream kind of thing. And before cell phones were mainstream type of thing. And now we see the post of that. And, we can look back and have that respect for time and the struggle of, having absolutely nothing to do when you had to sit for, like when, they would take you back to the exam room. That was the worst point of the doctor's office because a lot of them didn't have any magazines there. Unless it was some clinical magazine, like 5 ways to prevent gonorrhea,
You're just sitting there on the table with paper under your ass, just swinging your feet.
Yeah.
Like looking at the different drawers, going like, oh, I wonder what's in that drawer.
Right. Reading the charts,
Yeah, looking at the posters and shit.
Yeah. Like, the first time I went to the urologist, they had one that was basically explaining the whole, male, anatomy, and I'm going through like just reading this, and it's like I really don't want to read about this. I mean, I already know most of this stuff because
urethra. Huh.
Yeah. I remember her. She was in the Blues Brothers, and man, she was a great.
Oh my God! Why hasn't a urologist had a mascot that's Urethra Franklin?
My God,
that'd be amazing. I'd love to see that.
terrible.
Be like the California Raisins, but just like dildos singing soul tunes, and Aretha Franklin headlines it.
That would be kind of funny, actually.
Yeah, right.
I got one article for this week.
Oh, okay, what you got?
Kind of ties into the transitional stuff, which is, did you see Best Buy is going to quit selling DVDs and Blu-rays?
Oh, no, I did not.
Online and in store.
Wow.
They're just going to be done with it, apparently.
What the hell are they going to fill that space with in the middle of the store?
Yeah, well, I mean, the last time I was
TVs.
in there, probably, it was already pretty sparse. I mean, and you got games where a lot of people buy digital and stuff. I mean, I get it, but I don't know. It's weird. It doesn't feel. I don't know. It's strange. Like, you go into Target, they still sell DVDs and Blu-ray, but I never see anybody with them in line.
Right.
It's like I was telling my mom about this, like candy bars, right? Like, you see Baby Ruth or Caramello right now. Actually, that's a great one. Caramello. I've been seeing ads like crazy for it lately, and I'm like, I couldn't tell you the last time I saw a person other than myself buy a Caramello in a store. But every time I go into the stores, the boxes are near empty.
Somebody's doing it.
Somebody's buying them, but I never see anybody with it. It reminds you of how, like, everybody hates Nickelback, but it's like, hey, they sold millions of albums, so clearly somebody bought them.
Yeah, for sure. Closet Nickelback fans out there.
Yeah, so it's the same with like movies. Is the only time I really see like people buying movies is if it's something that's like a blockbuster and it finally comes out on Blu-ray or something, or around Christmas, because Target usually runs like, this movie will be $5 or whatever. They run big sales on the stuff. But it's strange, so it's like, I guess I can see why Best Buy would do this, but it's like, I really, this, again, we're from this generation to where we like our physical copies of stuff,
right?
But also we understand how handy the digital stuff is.
It's like, like I buy the vinyls. I like having physical music. I was getting back into that, right?
Yeah.
I don't miss having physical movies because I think I watch a more variety of stuff when I just peruse.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because like the movie marathon we had over the weekend, we wouldn't watch any of those if we just had the movies I owned.
Yeah. Well, and there's also nowhere to go get them. I mean, unless you're going to buy them, you can't go to a video store and rent them anymore.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Well, I mean, there's what do you call it? Redbox, but
is there though?
Those are very limited.
Yeah. I don't feel safe putting my credit card in those things.
Oh, there's that. Yeah, I get you though, but it's also like, think about it. It's like I own the first 7 or so seasons of Futurama on DVD still, because I just still have them. And if I'm gonna watch Futurama, I'm for sure just pulling it up on a streaming service.
Yeah, you're not gonna go dig out the box and put a disc in and.
So it's what I said. It's like, we're from that generation of, for a while I had all the seasons of The Simpsons on DVD. Because I was like, oh, I want to, that way I can watch it whenever I want. Well, it's all on Disney Plus now. So as soon as they put it on Disney Plus, I was like, well, time to sell these.
Yeah, for sure.
And I just never did with Futurama for whatever reason. But, and I look at it all the time and I go, I should sell those because I don't need them anymore, And we're also at a point too, that it's like, if I want something to watch, there's so much on streaming that I can watch.
Oh, yeah.
I can always find something to entertain me. And if I want to watch Futurama, like I said, it's on a variety of streaming.
It's on multiple services, yeah.
So at this point, I can watch it whenever I want to watch it.
Yeah, like the want to own movies, just not there for me.
That went away for me a long time ago. The only thing I was buying like shows like The Simpsons or Family Guy or Futurama, stuff like that. And that was mainly because at that time they weren't really on streaming services. Once they hit stream, that's why I sold my Family Guy stuff right away, because I was like, it's on like 4 different streaming services.
Yeah, like I don't need this anymore.
No, and it's on TV on various networks now, so where they run it. So I'm like, I can really watch this whenever I want.
I mean, I guess the only thing people are maybe buying them are people that are like, fuck you, I'm not into streaming.
Yeah.
or like collectors.
Yes. No, I can see stuff like Best Buy also used to be one of the few places they used to have like steel books that you couldn't get anywhere else, and some of those are very collectible and very valuable.
Right.
So I don't know if that's going to, I assume that's going by the wayside too. But that was a big draw for a lot of people. Like that was the reason some people went to Best Buy on Tuesday or whenever new movies come out. I don't know if they still come out on Tuesdays or Fridays, whatever it is.
Who knows?
Yeah, but that was a reason some people would go, is just to try to get those steel books.
Yeah.
You know, so it's obviously not enough that it's influencing their decision though.
Yeah, that's wild. I had not heard that.
It always feels weird to me when we take one step closer to not having any physical media. Because again, like for both of us, we had comic book collections and they took up all the space.
Yes.
And I don't miss that at all. I miss reading comic books, but even if I was really getting back into it, I'm all digital at this point. I mean, I just wouldn't go buy books at a store, as much as it pains me, because obviously I'd rather buy from a store, a comic book store.
Of course, yeah, of course.
But man, I don't want to store a whole bunch of comic books again, or anything like that. It's like so I get it, but also I'm very it's a little sad.
Yeah.
Because also, we know that you don't own anything that you buy digitally.
Yeah.
We're literally buying a what do you call it? A license.
Yeah.
That's
a right to use it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. And they can revoke that at any time, and then we can't watch it anymore. It kind of sucks. And there's stuff released on streaming that, as we found out with the writer's strike and stuff, as some of the services were pulling stuff off, that there's absolutely no physical copy of.
Yeah, it's wild.
Like that was the only place it existed. So if they take it off of there, it's like this basically doesn't exist anymore.
Which is insane.
Yeah. Whereas in the past, you'd have those people out there going, oh, I got a copy of Pootie Tang, Yeah,
exactly. Or I recorded that show. I got it. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. And now that just doesn't exist anymore. So it's wild, and like I said, it's a little sad on some stuff, but that's the world. I mean, that's where we're at.
Yeah, exactly.
What blows my more is that people, like, stores still carry CDs. I can't get over that.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
I mean, obviously there's going to be the people who, still are driving their 98 Toyota Corollas and stuff, which fine. I'm not knocking that.
I am.
And that's the only way they have to put music through through their car, but just like DVDs and stuff. I mean, how many people out there like really are still upset that video stores don't exist because they're physical media people, like they liked going and renting a movie and watching it.
I mean, so did I.
Yeah, like they wouldn't knew how filthy those cases were.
Oh my God, like jizz. God. Yeah, if there was a video store open in our area, I would have an account. And I would probably go there like maybe once a month.
There's the library. That's literally the video store now.
Yeah, that's not the same.
No. The library up in you're in Toledo, but the library in Lamberville's got quite a selection.
Yeah, but Brian, it's not the same.
No, it's not.
I want to see the trailers playing on the TVs. I want the bright colors. I want that weird video store smell.
Yeah,
and I want all that shit.
The thing I miss most from video stores being around is the ability to rent games.
Well, yeah, that too.
That's what I miss, because you could try games without having to buy them.
Yeah.
Like $5 down and see if it's worth buying.
I mean, that's the benefit of having PlayStation Plus, but there's only a limited amount of games that let you have a trial of. Yeah. Although I will say the Oculus, or I'm sorry, the Meta Quest.
Yeah.
If you buy an app in that or a game, you have X amount of time to play it. And if you stop playing it within, say, 30 minutes because you don't like it, you can return and get your money back.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of nice.
That is kind of nice, actually. I like that.
Yeah, but once you obviously go past that point, it's yours.
Right. It's like I signed up for GameFly years ago, and I don't like it because every time a game comes out, it's gone before you can. You have to wait forever to get a new game. And at least when I used it, I don't know if it's better now, but I can't imagine.
Is it still a service?
I don't need. Yes, it still exists because I just saw a thing the other day that they had used copies of Diablo cheap, and then I realized it was on PS5. So, because they had like used copies of Diablo 4 for like $30, and I was like, ooh, and then I was like, oh, it's PS5. Unfortunately, I'm poor.
Yeah, exactly. I get you on that one. I'm loading up. I gotta see what. I want to see how much their services are.
A month for like one game at a time or maybe two, but it was still like you couldn't get any good, like, you know, Diablo, right? Like Diablo would come out and you'd be real lucky if you could prioritize it, you know, in your list, but it was like your odds of getting it were not good. So it was
right.
I was just like, yeah, I can't get the games I want to play. You know, don't get me wrong, video stores were the same way. You know, how many times, you know, we worked there and you get like 2 copies of a AAA title, and you're like, come on, like, what are we doing here? You know, like, again, Diablo will come out, we get like 3 copies. I'm like, these are gonna be gone and never come back.
So you can get 1 game a month for $18 or 4 games for $46.
Yeah, see what I mean? I mean, even the 1 game is like $20 a month almost for that. It's like,
yeah, I'd rather just play PlayStation Plus.
Exactly. For that same money, I could get Xbox Live, what do you call it, Game Pass, or like you said, PlayStation Plus. And it's like, I'd rather go that way. I have way more variety.
Right, for sure.
With that, I can only get 1 game. So if I don't care for that game, I have to put it in the mail and wait
for
to
your
get
next
it back.
game to show up. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas the Games Pass or whatever, it's like, well, there's all these games I can, you know, it's like, well, there's probably something in here I can find that's fun.
I mean, yeah, I don't know if you've ever looked at my game history. I play all kinds of dumb shit.
I know. It's one of the I enjoy seeing that, like when I log in and it'll be like, you know, Damn Dirty Ape just played blah blah blah. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you know, Chicken Police.
Yeah, I love perusing the catalog and looking for some weird shit.
Yeah.
It gives me pleasure.
Yeah.
Speaking of pleasure in games, how about that Saints Row co-op we had yesterday?
I was gonna just move into that too. Yeah. I gotta say, from initial reaction of it to now having played co-op with you, which granted, playing co-op with you is going to add a level because you and I always have fun dicking around.
We're silly geese, Brian.
Right. So, and we're going to have fun pretty much no matter how terrible a game is.
Accurate.
But I think we've actually found some really kind of fun in that game. You know, even though there's still some things that are a little wacky and mad.
Very wacky.
But also, we for sure found that some of the vehicles are not like driving around a refrigerator. Like some of them are, obviously. But there is a little more nuance in the physics than I think we initially thought.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as evidenced by that car we were in last night. What was that, Elsie or whatever?
Oh,
that one.
Ethel.
Ethel, yeah. Because after you signed off, I hopped in it, you know, customized it out, and then, you know, took it around for a spin. And I'm like, oh, wow, this thing actually slides around and is pretty nice to drive. So it'll probably become my favorite car for, you know, a minute.
For the time being.
Yeah, but, you know, the shooting is still a pain in the ass. But I've gotten a lot better with it, like learned a little more of, you know, their system.
The aim assist, if you don't have it on, helps dramatically.
Yeah, my biggest problem is still there's no cover system. There's like dodge, but which still blows my mind. It's like, how do you put dodge in, but you don't put a cover system in?
What I've learned in playing this game is, you know, the past Saints Row, that the last one we really played, you turned into a superhero.
Yeah.
You kind of got to live your life in that game in the same mindset.
Yeah.
Because you can take a lot of shots before you go down.
Really
the cars could take a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
So I like, you know, you saw me yesterday, I just drive like a fucking asshole. Because it's like, if I hit shit, who cares? If I fly through the windshield, I'm not going to die.
Yeah. Well, that's my GTA too, right? Is like, pretty much if I own the car, I've probably bought the extra armor on the car. So I drive like a maniac in that game because basically you can't hurt me, because I can just, well, I mean, hitting something doesn't hurt me at all. So I just drive like an absolute asshole in that game. So in this one, I've been a little more cautious because I'm thinking, oh, I don't have armor, but you're right. Like as I'm driving through, it's like the only thing you have to be careful of is that people are very aggressive in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Like the NPCs are very aggressive. So if you nudge someone, they will chase you. They will run you down. They will shoot at you.
Yeah, I mean, I was playing a little bit before we hopped on here, and I was trying to get a contract taken care of, and I sideswiped some car, and I'm getting out of my car, and this woman's walking over, like ready to like go to fisticuffs with me. Of course, I just shot her in the face and moved on with my life, but
you do, right? Yeah, that's what I found that last night while I was driving Ethel around. It's like one point I kind of, you've been in cars with me in the games. I shoot the gap a lot. Like if I think I can fit a car somewhere, that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And also you get like, I think there's probably some sort of bonus in there for like near misses and whatever. So I do that and I nudge the back end of this truck. Dude, this thing's on my ass forever. And so finally I'm like, fuck you, and just sideswipe him. Like I was on the bridge, I sideswiped him, just pushed him off the bridge, so shit like that. And I was just like, all right, I got to remember when people get aggressive, I just got to be aggressive and not try to outrun them. There's no point in outrunning them because like you said, the cars take a ton of damage.
Yeah, for sure.
So I can just use the sideswipe mechanic thing in there and literally just get people out of the way. I did it with a cop that was on my ass. I sideswiped him right into a tree and just kept going, and he was done. He basically, you just picture like in a movie where the cop's car would be smoke, there'd be smoke billowing out of the front. And the cop's like,
yeah, exactly,
shaking their fist at you. Like pretty much any time the Duke boys got away from Roscoe, that's pretty much what the scene was. So yeah, it's like I think we had some fun, and I'm for sure excited to play more.
Oh yeah, I had a good time, and I kind of dig, like I don't know what the name of the city is, I don't remember, but it's the first like fully like the whole city feels like a Southwest desert vibe.
Yeah, it does.
And I kind of like that too. I don't know why, there's something about it. I like the aesthetic of it.
Yeah, like I said, my only thing is that like sometimes it's hard for me to see in the game when I'm driving, and I don't mean the dust stuff, but like when it's sunny, it almost seems like it's like over the top sunny,
right?
But it is desert, so I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, it's one of those like I decided yesterday when we were playing. I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to just like beat this game now.
Yeah,
I'm kind of like invested now, so.
Yeah, I kind of figured that. That's why I wondered that early on when we talked about it. It was like, I wonder if we play this more, like maybe we'll get into it.
Man down. Man down.
I just had wondered how much of the bad stuff online was just people being assholes.
Yeah.
Because of, the internet just always, it's not what I'm used to bullshit.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's still a wonky... kind of it's not a class like AAA title or whatever.
Yeah, but I really think a lot of that kind of stuff also kind of comes back to, it's like playing Mario Golf and going, it's not a real golf game,
right?
Like that's kind of what I feel. And once we kind of got out of the mindset of it isn't GTA, it's not a shooter like Halo or whatever. Like they didn't put all the work into the nuance of the shooting mechanics that they could have.
Right.
They for sure could improve this game. But for what it is, I think, especially at the free price point, I think it's been pretty fun to play. So
free is my favorite price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even if I paid $10 for this or 15, I think I'd still be okay with it.
Right.
Like if I paid full price for this, I'd probably be like, I should have waited,
And now that I've kind of opened up my mind a little bit, to it.
Yeah.
It's I'm not mad at it. There's definitely some so I was playing right before we recorded, and I was just driving through trees and cactuses, and it was no problem. And then I hit like a green street sign, and it brought my car to a screeching halt.
Well, like we were playing last night, and I'm burning through all that stuff with that one vehicle, remember? And then I hit a bush, and I'm like, I can't navigate out of this bush. Like, I almost couldn't back the car up. It was like I was literally stuck in it. And, which could happen. Like, if you drove onto a bush, you might get your vehicle stuck on the thing. The problem was, before that, I had just gone through all sorts of debris.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And that's where it gets frustrating, because it teaches you almost that you can drive through anything, and then it'll be like, oh, except for foliage. That is right.
Yeah, that thin metal pole holding that sign, that thing's made of adamantium.
Right. You absolutely are not going through that, but you can drive through like half a building or whatever.
Yeah,
no
exactly.
Problem.
See that, giant tree surrounded by 6 foot tall, thick boy cactuses?
Not a
they
problem.
plow right through those.
Yep. Like a razor on a head.
Yeah.
So
whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's, I'm taking it warts and all for the game it is.
Me too. But I think especially I was real happy that when we fired up co-op that it wasn't like us just the whole time going, ugh, like the whole time we laughed a ton playing that.
Oh yeah, it was a silly game.
And it was just ridiculous. So, and that's really what I want from Saints Row.
I mean, I
be goofy and ridiculous, but it would be nice if the mechanics were just a little better.
I mean, I like the fact that, because I've, like, unless you played more of the story yesterday, where you are, I've already done in my game. You know?
That's the only thing that sucks, is you are ahead of me.
Well, but it's fun for me because you're like, listening to the story unfold, and I'm like, my guy's penguin walking around in the background and shit, or just I'm playing a guitar, I'm just fucking around.
Yeah, like when we're in that swanky museum event or whatever, and I'm listening to whatever, and I happen to turn the camera angle, and I see you just on stage, and you're just wailing on a guitar.
Yeah, exactly. It's good times.
It is just being dumb. So I think it definitely ticks a mark for something that we haven't really done in a while. So I'm like I said, I'm excited to play co-op up and do some more dumb shit.
Oh yeah, we'll have to probably, I think maybe Friday.
Let's figure it out.
I was like, because tomorrow and Thursday I got plans with family and more family. So
yeah. Thursday I got therapy, and then I'm getting my flu shot. At least my flu shot on Thursday. So I'm gonna talk to him about this. No one gives a shit, but I don't care. Do you get or have you gotten a pneumonia shot? Is that something they recommend in our age group
I
yet?
have no idea.
All right.
Yeah, I have not. How about that?
Okay. I haven't either to this point, but I was like, up until a couple years ago, I wasn't getting flu shots either. So, and then, this was pre-COVID when I started getting flu shots. I was just like, I live with my mom, and I for sure really, first of all, I don't want the flu.
Well, you want to protect her too.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
absolutely.
Severe flu sucks.
Mm-hmm.
We've all had it. It's no bueno. So I'd really prefer to not have a rough go with the flu if possible. And that's kind of what I was thinking with pneumonia, because pneumonia has dropped a lot of people that seemingly were okay.
Right, for sure.
It's excuse me, I got a couple friends that are doctors that have both been like, yeah, they're like, if a patient comes in and they have blank, we're like, okay, we can handle this. And then they get pneumonia and we're like, fuck, it's like, we have to handle this as quick as possible, because pneumonia can just take
you out.
Yeah. So especially if you have any sort of a compromised immune system, it's why, you used to hear, not as much now, but you used to hear people with like HIV and stuff. It was like, they always seemed to die of pneumonia. It was never anything else. It was always pneumonia that would drop them. So no good.
It's going to be the name of my custom wrestler, Pneumonia, because I'll be dropping fools.
Nice.
Pneumonia.
That's a nice
Coming up next to the stage, Pneumonia.
It's a good name for a like cologne or something, or perfume.
Cologne?
Pneumonia. I can't.
Hugo Boss.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Perfection.
All right. I think that's all I got.
I'm fresh out of subjects myself.
All right. Well, let's move into QoftheW then, I guess.
Don't mind if I do, Brian. Don't mind if I do. Last week, we asked y'all, what opinion did you hold strongly when you were younger, but as you got older, you changed positions? My position still stands on, if you're going to like the post, answer it. Come on, Instagram.
Seriously, people.
Come on. So we got nothing there.
Oh.
But on Face page, got a few. Got a few answers here. It's kind of a little low answer. I think this wasn't as silly as people like, maybe.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
Julie says religion. I was raised Catholic and now I'm an atheist. Not because of any trauma, just natural progression. While I miss the comfort of thinking there's an afterlife, I just don't see how it's possible.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. And then
I know a lot of people that have had the same feeling. It's weird because I also know people who've started their life religious, gone to atheism or being agnostic, and then later in life, you kind of get that fear of like, maybe I should make things right with God kind of situation, and then kind of find it again.
It's like the mummy when he's pulling out every religious symbol.
Yeah. Kind of, yeah. You're like, oh, I hope one of these works.
And then your ma chimed in, says, my trust and beliefs in people who I thought were upstanding, who turned out to be dirty old men and women, crotchety old prunes.
That's fair. I actually think I know at least one scenario of which she's thinking about, and it involved like when she was a little girl, she was raised Catholic, and or not Catholic. Shit, I forgot what it is.
Jewish?
Anyway, yes. No. So we'll just religious because I can't remember what it was. Baptist. That's what it was. So she, but her dad was Catholic, so she was around Catholicism. And they were at like a fair or something, like a church fair kind of gimmick.
Right.
And she saw one of the priests like pat one of the nuns on the butt. And she remembers as a kid how that shook her, because it was like, whoa, that's not okay. And her dad basically like, yeah, you're going to learn a lot of stuff's not okay, basically, but it happens, So it's kind of an innocence lost kind of moment,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That sucks. But what are you going to do?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Got to touch that ass, I guess.
Got to touch that ass. Sometimes the ass. You just can't help yourself.
Right.
But that's all I got, man.
Wow, that's
it.
Nothing from our Diamond Top fans?
No. Everyone's letting us down, man.
All right. Well, speaking of letdowns, here's Cheeto's answer.
Cheeto's never let down. We love Cheeto.
Well, I mean, there was at one time he didn't answer.
I'm super sad that we can't visit him this upcoming weekend.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. I'm also super sad we missed Derek and Abby's Halloween party. I'm sure it would have been quite a time to go be part. They looked fantastic, as I believe they were the twins from The Shining.
I was gonna dress as a contestant on Naked Attraction.
Nice. Wow. I mean, that's pretty brazen considering, there's no censoring on there.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
It's my America.
All right. So he says, opinion I had when I was younger, but have changed now, is, he said, I'm not sure how to word this, so hopefully it makes sense. Going above and beyond, putting in extra hours and being the go-to person will get you farther, make you more money, and you'll be happier. I used to believe this. I would kill myself day in, day out for my job. I put 100% in, stayed over, stayed too late, went back in, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Sure, I made more money, but the time that I lost at home with my family wasn't worth it. As I've gotten older, I realized this. I still give 100% at work, and I don't call off or miss work unless absolutely necessary. I haven't missed a day in over 3 years. Not bragging, just saying. That sounds like a brag.
A little bit.
I get you, buddy. Yeah, you're preaching to the choir. Me and Tony are built the same way, or were. But now I make sure I have time at home. I make sure I have time with my family. I make sure I have time for my friends, and I make sure I have time for me. I can always make money, and I can work until the day I die if I want. But the time, I can't make more of that, and you don't get it back.
It's not wrong.
Which, 100%, buddy. Tony and I, for sure, we've talked about it on the show. We both had those same moments where you hit that point to where you're like, why am I doing this?
Yes, this is benefiting me. How?
Yeah, like you said, there's definitely points in your life where you're like, hey, the money is really nice. Like, I need that money.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I've got bills and blah, blah, blah. But there's also times where you hit it and go, who fucking cares? Like, that debt is still going to be there.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's different if we're talking like you're going to get thrown out of your house or something. But, you know, like credit card debt or student loans, it's like, fuck it. That's going to be there forever.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
So, you know, you don't need to kill yourself. Also, you know, as I've seen a meme go around for a long time now that's very much true, which is, you know, hard work just gets rewarded with more work. You know?
Yeah, that's something I've learned as well.
Yeah.
You know,
my brother taught me that working at the post office, that basically, you know, they budget out that your route should take X hours. And if you come back, they say, okay, your route should take 6 hours. If you come back at 5, they don't go, wow, great job. They go, oh, here's more work.
yeah.
So as a result, what that does is that teaches people, don't bust your ass, because if you do, you're just going to get more work. So, you know, and I'm kind of, I don't want to sound like I'm a, you know, stand around with your thumb in your ass at work person, because I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm very much, you should still do your job, but also you don't have to break your neck for it. You know?
Yeah, I definitely came from the school of, well, if I work hard and I put in the time, they're going to recognize me and they're going to promote me and whatever. And that's not how it works.
No, all I got was passed over. That's what I got for busting my ass, coming in on my days off, staying late, helping all the time. All I got rewarded by was I got passed over constantly for promotions.
Yeah.
So, and eventually I hit a point, you know, luckily we were able to open our shop, so that gave me the freedom to basically go, yeah, fuck this.
Yeah, for sure. So, right.
You know, and I wish I would have hit that mentality sooner, but well, it was that, and it was also when I asked for a promotion after running the store for months and getting well, we're not really sure you're ready for a promotion. And then they were like, you know, we're going to see a different Brian, right? Yeah, you sure will, because now you're just going to see 80% Brian. You're not getting 120% Brian anymore.
Boy, will you see a different one.
Yeah. Not that that's mathematically possible, but still, you know. So, yeah, great answer, Cheeto. He says salty selections. There's Bud Light is a good beer. Nope, it isn't. Time and a place, like we've said on here a lot, you know. But yeah, generally no. IPAs taste like pine trees. Nope, they don't. It was just that one that I had when I was younger was either a shitty IPA or my palate wasn't ready for it, or both. Or in fairness, it could have been one that was a really piney IPA, because those definitely exist. We've had them.
Yeah, some people, you know, I mean, some of those IPAs aren't for everybody.
Listen, for years I was like, nope, IPAs are dirt. You know, I hated them, and then, you know, Chill Wave opened up my palate. Now I've for sure consumed a lot of IPAs since that first Chill Wave. You know, the next one is fat girls give the best head. You put never mind, this one's still true.
It's funny.
You silly goose. And then he put sorry Stu, just wanted to hear you read it. No, that's fine.
Nothing wrong with that.
Listen. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, that's what I got for last week's. For this week, this was something. This is a dumb one, but it's one I saw on I don't know. Oh, Instagram, and it was, do you think people would choose to fuck, kill, or marry you? Which I kind of like this one, because I don't know that this is one that I've really seen people take the flip.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, I think I'm a marry guy, because, you know, I'm a reliable source of income. I can cook. I'm a nice guy. You know.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at. You know, I don't really feel like. I mean, I tend to get along with everybody, so I don't really. Hopefully, there's people out there that don't want to kill me. I can think of one, but.
I mean, yeah, but I'm sitting right here.
Definitely not you, Brian.
Yeah, that's why you'll never see it come in.
But yeah, I think in that scenario, I'm a marry guy.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably where I'd end up too, because of I've always been a safe guy, right? Like I know, and I've been told a lot of times by a lot of women that I give off a comfort vibe to them, and that they feel safe with me. So, you know, whether I've taken that as a compliment or not has changed over the years, but you know, now I see it more as a compliment, especially as I have heard a lot of awful stories about how men are to women, you know, and heard what women have gone through, and then to be told, hey, you don't give off that vibe. And I'm like, oh, that's a really big compliment.
Like,
actually.
awesome.
Like, cool. Yeah, like
I'm just very sensual and intimate.
Yeah, right. Let me sniff your hair again.
Grab that blooming onion. Let's do this.
Yeah, but I feel like I'm in that realm too, because a lot of the same reasons you said. I mean, not dependable income, but you know, I cook, I'm nice, I care, you know, probably too much a lot of times.
Ah, shit, that's my flaw. I don't care.
Yeah. So that's where at least I hope I would fit on a lot of this stuff. I mean, you know, is as nice and of an ego boost as it would be to be, you know, like, oh yeah, that's a fuck, but it's also like that also kind of, you know, it's like, oh, I don't want to be the vapid choice, you know, like I want to be, I would prefer it if someone said marry or long term, you know, like wife me up kind of situation.
Yeah, either marry me or kill me. I don't want.
Yeah, yeah. It's either you pick marry me or give me both of the other two.
Yes, exactly.
Send me off real well and then kill me.
Yep.
Send me off by killing me. That's fine too. So yeah, I'm curious to see how most people feel on this, because it is kind of a bit of an ego check, in that, you know, if you really feel like people would kill you, I mean, I could jokingly say kill, but it's like I really don't feel like most people that I've been around would choose to kill
that's
me,
what I'm like.
You know?
I don't.
Now, if you put hard pass in there, I mean, I have to go hard pass.
Fucking hard pass.
Yeah. Oh shit. Hard pass, marry or kill. Oh, this guy's a hard pass.
Oh god damn, Brian.
All right.
Yeah, just sneezing so much all of a sudden.
Should probably be careful, man.
Apparently.
That stuff upstairs doesn't work as well as you get older. You can't afford to lose it.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Dude, I had last thing before we jump into the next part here, but while I was at the dentist office today, the woman, you know, scraping my teeth was she was cracking me up. Like she comments on stuff while she's working, like comments on things going around.
Oh, okay.
Us. Because I hate the way the place is designed, because it's literally like where you're getting worked on, there's like these walls that only come up so far, and then there's like a desk area behind you, but it's not enclosed. Like you're not in a room.
Just like out in the middle of the floor or something.
Yeah,
that's
basically.
weird.
So you can hear everything. And there was this dentist that was talking to this guy about, you know, how awful his teeth were, basically, and like, dude, you've got to do better because your teeth suck, basically. And she's like, oh my god, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I always hate how I can hear everything here. And she's like, it's such a HIPAA violation. And I'm like, yeah, it's got to be, right? Like, we shouldn't be able to hear delicate, you know, like stuff while you're in the, you know, because even at the dentist, it's like you still deserve, you know, privacy for your dentist yelling at you that you've got to learn what a toothbrush is.
Yeah, it's not like, like it's like, all right, Pete Smith of 8245 Ravine Court, your teeth suck and your AIDS have flared up. Like, what?
I didn't even know.
Everyone in the room's like, oh god.
Yeah, that's kind of what she's like. I bring it up at every meeting we have, and in my head I'm going, yeah, you know, I don't blame you, but it's like they're not going to remodel this place because they'd have to like gut the stuff, and then, well, I guess they wouldn't have to. They could build little attachments and put a door on each one, but they're not going to.
I mean, they could give everybody like headphones, be like, hey, just plug into the chair, we got some shit going on.
that would probably be at least a step in the right direction, because you really can. I mean, they turn the volume up. Remember, I told you there's different ones. Like there's like 3 different playlists, and I'm always like, hope it's not the one.
Come on, Gangster Rap Day. Come on, Gangster Rap Day.
No, today was pop music, but it was like upbeat kind of pop music. So I was like, well, whatever. It's better than the country one.
Anything's better than country one.
Yeah. So yeah, it just kind of made me laugh a little bit, but it's like, yeah, she's totally right. That's got to be like a HIPAA violation.
I would assume.
I really can hear everything going on in each of these, and she's like, it isn't even just about that. She goes, sometimes I just don't want to hear what these people have to say. That's
exactly what it is for me. That's what my thoughts would be.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like when I'm in the chair, I'm trying to focus on the music basically. So I'm trying not to listen into the conversations, but you can't help it because some people are just so loud that it's like, well,
I guess I get to hear about this guy.
Should I comment? I feel like I'm part of the conversation.
That would be funny to comment.
Seriously, John, brush your damn teeth.
Damn, we can smell your mouth over here.
Yeah.
Got me all crooked-eyed. Yeah.
I don't know that I've heard an adult like chastised by their dentist this badly. Like I've been told different stuff, like, hey, you need to floss better, or whatever, like that kind of stuff. But I've never, that's basically being told this is a toothbrush.
That's always what I get is you need to floss more, and do you drink coffee? And I go, yes. And yes, I know I need to floss more.
Yeah. That's why I used to lie, because they'd be like, do you floss every day? Oh yeah. And it's like, they know.
Like, okay. Yeah, he does.
They're like, oh, okay. As they put the welding mask down to fucking unchip some of the plaque on your teeth, like, okay.
You mean like the sick Fortnite dance, the floss, right? Yeah, I floss every day.
Oh, you mean eat candy floss? Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It's like, come on, they know better. So it's like, there's no point in lying. I just go, not. Whenever they ask now, I always say not well enough because I know the answer. I know I don't.
I do the same thing.
I try, but I'm not great at it, of hitting it every day. I need to be, but I'm not. So, but at least I'm not.
We're only human, Brian.
But at least I'm not, Ricky Smith of 80 Faircrest Lane.
With his dirt mouth and AIDS flare up.
Yeah. Poor guy.
Poor fella.
Yeah. So, with that, head on over to saltylanguage.com. Check out the links, although I don't really know we have a link for this week. Oh, I have one for the Best Buy store.
There you go.
But, yeah, so whatever. But check out tangentboundnetwork.com, which is the network we're part of. And check out the other shows over there if you would. And if you're looking for a network for your show, hit him up. And if you talk to Mark, tell him brush his damn teeth.
Exactly. and we're both very intimate for him.
Yes, we're both very sensual men.
Yes, sensual.
Very sensual men. Yeah, just a real tip. I'm pretty sure as a man, you shouldn't use the word sensual on a date.
No.
I feel like that's just right in the creep.
I mean,
place.
Not unless she goes, where are we eating? And you go, oh, we're going to Sensuals.
Yes. Like if that's the name of a place, even then I find another place.
Like, isn't that a strip club? Well, yeah, but they have good wings.
Best steak in town.
Like I'm telling you, don't even use Steakums. It's a real steak.
Yeah. You've never had a patio steak like this, let me tell you.
God, what a great first date that would be. Where?
Yeah. Like you're not going sitting with his back to the strippers.
Yeah.
He's really not there for that. He's
just there for the food.
Oh man.
Like I'm telling you, Mondays is buy one get one clam night. It's amazing.
And she's like, that's funny, and he's like, why? Like, as just no parallel with it being, like
exactly. He's just down for the good clam dinner.
Just down for the clam dinner. He sits down. He sits down. He's like, well, I'll have two of the clam, blah blah blah, and they're like, oh, of course, Mr. Stewart. And then it's like, for you, and she's like, oh, because she thought one was for her. He's ordering 2. He's got a bag to take the others home.
Oh, God. No one wants leftover clams.
Oh, he does.
That's true.
Oh, shit. Oh, that would be funny. I'd love that. Did you see, I know I need to stop, but did you see the story of, I think it was in like South Africa or whatever, somebody posted online that their, well, it's now fiance, he proposed to her at KFC and people were shitting all over this guy. How could you not take her out for a real dinner, Berber? Apparently it's a place they love to go.
Yeah.
Because this is something I've learned in the last couple of years is apparently people in other countries, like KFC is the shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Meanwhile, here it's like, it's whatever, you know. But in other countries, apparently it's like the tits. So anyway, I think that KFC or KFC in general over there got a hold of him and is like, I don't know if they're paying for the whole wedding or if they're helping him with it, but they're like,
oh my God,
you know,
if Colonel Sanders doesn't marry them, they're doing it wrong.
Oh, you are 100% right. Somebody should be dressed as Colonel Sanders for sure.
Absolutely.
Listen, if Colonel Sanders was like, or if that was their only caveat, right? Like, hey, we will cater the whole thing with all the KFC you everybody can eat. We're paying for the wedding. The only thing we require, well, a couple things. One, instead of carrying, you know, a bouquet, you have to carry a bucket of chicken. And 2, it's that Colonel Sanders has to marry you. I feel like most people would still be like, okay.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. If I was, for some reason, like fell down these stairs and hit my head real hard, and I was like, man, I got to get married again. And KFC was like, we're going to cater everything, pay for it. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
You don't even have to pay for it. You can just cater it. I'm in.
Yeah. As long as Colonel Sanders marries.
Like extra crispy? Yes, sir.
Yeah. Do you take this chicken? Oh, I do.
Oh, boy, do I.
Smashing chicken while you're standing at the altar.
I could see little tiny, like, KFC bucket centerpieces on each table.
Yeah.
Oh,
now, does she throw the whole chicken over her shoulder? Or does she just throw pieces for everybody?
Well, if she's doing the thing where it's like whoever catches this gets married next, it's got to be one thing. So it's got maybe like a turkey leg or something.
Okay, yeah. Maybe she throws a double down like over her shoulder.
Oh man, I'll be catching that shit.
Yeah. That's what I was just thinking. I was like, yeah, half the guys would be out there
exactly.
too.
I'd be coming in like a freaking defensive end or something or whatever.
Yeah. Marshawn Lynch stiff arming people.
Yeah, exactly.
Beast mode to get that chicken.
Hell yeah.
Like, dude, there's more right over there. Yeah, but I want that one.
Yeah, but like, this one's airborne.
Yeah. This one's within mouth range.
No, seriously. You can't make fun of people for doing that.
No, and like I said, I think they posted that that it was a place they love to go.
Yeah,
and it's like, you know, yeah. Like, listen, could there have been a fancier dinner? Sure, he could have taken her to Sensuals for a steak dinner.
Obviously, clams.
Monday
clam night.
Monday clam night. Yeah,
of course.
But I was like, when I first read the story, I was like, why would you shit on people for they clearly in the picture they're happy, and it's like, who fucking cares, man?
Yeah,
you know, like not every lady out there is you have to take me for a $300 dinner to propose to me.
Yeah, sometimes you just need a bucket of chicken and some mashed potatoes and gravy.
Dude, it's like you know, Jazzy Jeff said on Fresh Prince, and there's one of the episodes where he's like, let's get a bucket of chicken and get busy. That's like my favorite pickup line ever.
Oh man, I need that on a shirt.
Right? Oh man.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna see if I can find a link to that, because I can't seem to find it. Just quick typing in here, but I'll see if I can find whatever.
Yeah, 100%. I would be down for a KFC sponsored wedding.
Oh, dude, is this that old? Maybe this is a really old story. Oh my goodness.
We're old. 30-second ads, man. You know.
Man. Yeah, I think this is. Yeah, after a video, their proposal.
All right, this I know.
Yeah, I think
at risk of running long into tooth here, which is what we've been doing the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Brian, if you had a fast food place cater your wedding, what fast food place would it be?
Oh, Fuck. Man, that's a good question.
Or do you want to just add this to the Q to W list? We'll come back to it.
Why don't we do that for we can have that question next week maybe.
I'll add it to the shared Q to W list real quick.
Cool, because I don't have my other list up. Yeah, apparently I didn't realize this. This story is fucking old, dude. It's from 2020.
Oh wow.
So yeah, because it was she posted a video of the proposal and people shit all over it. And they provided a wedding planner, an Uber and Audi offered to help the couple get around on their honeymoon. So that's what it was. So
there you go.
Wow. So here we go. So they had been married already, apparently. And it was a really small wedding and they weren't happy with it. So he says he decided to get her a new ring and surprise her with a better proposal at her favorite place to eat, which was KFC. So, and yeah.
But then the internet did the internet.
Yeah, which makes sense because, yeah, fucking ridiculous. But I'm trying to. Yeah, and looks like there was an airline that pledged to fly them to their honeymoon destination and all that kind of stuff. So
was the honeymoon destination the original KFC?
That would be really funny. Yeah, we got to do that, and we got to go see Colonel Sanders' grave. And but yeah, it's even being an old story. It's still like, yeah, like you said, it's just the internet being the internet, just shitting on people for being happy because
that's what they do. They're
angry at their own lives.
Meanwhile, they're eating KFC, shitting on these people.
Yeah, it's like, whatever, dude. They should just be happy for them.
Exactly.
Like, I just don't know why we can't, like, the internet has just really ruined people just being happy for other people.
I know, right? It kind of sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's like, oh, you're successful?
Yeah, how dare you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I got it. Yeah, fuck off.
One last thing. Speaking of successful, how about my Detroit Lions leading the division?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
After years and 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 years of being terrible.
You missed 1 year.
Yeah. I probably missed like 10.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've been since like 89, and yeah, it's not gone well. But man, this team feels like a different breed. Yeah. This coach, man, he's got these guys. Literally, it feels like a dude you'd run through a wall for. So I love.
Yeah, the loins are on fire.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
just like Monday Clam Night.
It's Monday Clam Night, exactly.
All right, enough of that. All right, if you want to reach out to us on the socials, you can find us on Twitter at salty_language. You can find me on whatever socials I'm on at Stunami.
Find me at D Monotony on Instagram, at Salty Language on TikTok. All the beers on YouTube. Oh, you know what? We should stream some Saints Row. That's what we should do on Salty Language Pod, our YouTube channel, which maybe I've watched some videos now. Maybe I can fix the uploads. I don't fucking know. Whatever. Patreon.com/Salty Language if you want to help your boys out. You know? Because we love that. Brian, what else you got going on?
Help us get a KFC proposal.
Dude, I would love that. I'd be touched.
We finally tie the knot over some KFC.
Hell yeah, man.
And then off to Sensuals for Clam Night.
I can't wait.
Man, that's the real honeymoon.
We'll have to like entwine our arms and eat drumsticks.
Yeah. God, just the thought of clams though.
I mean, I don't mind a clam.
I'm not. Yeah, you can have mine too.
All right, perfect.
There you go. Both clam dinners are for him.
Perfect.
I'll have one of these steaks I've heard about.
I hear you don't even use steakums.
Yeah. No, sir. 100% real steak.
Yeah, I read that on Yelp.
Oh man. All right. Yeah, my other podcast is called The Crazy Life, and it's me and Heno now talking about mental health, mental illness, recovery, addiction, all sorts of fun stuff like that, and just our what's going on in our lives in general. So if you're into that, please give us a listen. And that actually just reminds me that we should have recorded over the weekend, and we didn't.
Whoops-a-daisy.
Gotta hit up Heno and straighten that out.
Whoops-a-daisy.
Yeah, it happens.
It does.
We're not real tight with the release schedule on that show, unfortunately. But we try. Just I goofed this week. So yeah, all right. Okay, let's do the insult for the week.
Yes.
This is okay. I don't know how to pronounce this, but it's either blouse or Blowse, Blowsbella, and it's if you're constantly running out of the house with your hair all askew, leaving your phone forgotten on the kitchen table, and forgetting your keys, you might be a blouse. I don't know. It's Blowse or a Blowsbella. In ye old England, a blouse actually referred almost solely to an unkempt woman, but I think in our modern times we can apply it to anyone.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So you're a mess. You're just a damn mess.
Yeah,
that's what you are.
I mean, there was a guy I used to work with that, one day I said he looked like an unmade bed, and we still talk about that sometimes because it hit home perfectly of how he looked every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
It's funny, how there's a lot of people who really are like, oh, I'm going out, so I should, shower, comb my hair, brush my beard, brush my teeth, whatever. And then there's other people that are like, I'm just going to work, and just roll out of bed, put shoes on, and go.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Some people don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I mean, certain jobs I can understand it. Like if I'm going to be working outside and doing construction, I don't know that I'm wasting my time taking a shower before work.
That's fair.
Yeah. For sure taking one when I get home. But
right.
Yeah. But if I'm going to work, I don't know, retail, I feel like you should, at least horse bath before you go to work.
Yeah, you got to at least hit yourself with some Old Spice or something.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. A little cracking guard. Set the mood.
Yeah. Yeah. Or just rub some of them Monday night clams on you.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I keep a couple in my pocket just in case.
Pocket clams?
Pocket clams.
Yeah. Wait a minute. All right. Well, there you go. With that, I guess until next week, have some clams. You'll be fine.
Stay sensual.
Sensual.